Welcome back. A red riptide threatening the hopes of a Democratic blue wave in November. 8 critical primaries held across America this week with major Republican momentum building in California. And joining me now to react is RNC Chairwoman for California, Harmeet Dhillon. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Happy to be here, Heather.
So I like that. A red riptide or blue wave. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, starting here in California, we had a lot of warnings from the Democrats that there was going to be a blue wave that swamped us. We have 7 congressional races here that are in districts that Hillary Clinton carried, and so the Democrats and Nancy Pelosi were really targeting and hoping for those to go their way, and they kind of went bust. In fact, Republicans did very well. Our voters turned out in much greater numbers and percentages across California than the Democrats did, and that theme is actually carried out in the other states as well. And we've had very high enthusiasm amongst Republicans, coupled with, you know, after many months of Democrats just complaining about the president but not having their own agenda, their voters didn't turn out. So it's actually looking pretty good for us.
And that's interesting because if you listen to what people call the main news stream media, they talked a lot about Democrats turning out. Democrats are going to turn out in huge numbers. Do you think that this will keep up with Republicans as we head towards midterms, more Republicans heading out? And why do you think more Republicans are heading out to the polls?
Well, you know, I think it is very specific. It depends on the state. Certainly in the blue states like California, which is probably the most extreme, Republicans and even independent voters and many Democrats are very tired of the high taxes and the government control, the regulations that make it very hard for businesses and for families to succeed. And so in those states, I think you're seeing the effect of that. Republicans who see what's happening in other states and seeing what the president is doing nationally to help us out are enthusiastic to carry that on within their states. Whereas Democrats have been a very negative agenda that they've been proposing, and they aren't really proposing solutions for America. Even some Democratic consultants and you know, wise people in the party are warning Democrats that if all they're doing is campaigning against the president, that's not going to work for the people you know, on the ground in their states.
Yeah, people that need jobs, people that want to get ahead, support their families. It's not going to work if you just campaign on impeaching President Trump. Speaking of President Trump, here's a couple of things that he had to say on Twitter. He said, great night for Republicans. Congratulations to John Cox on a really big number in California. He can win. Even fake news CNN said the Trump impact was really big, much bigger than they ever thought possible. So much for the big blue wave. It may be a big red wave working hard. And then he went on to say many more Republican voters, as you were just discussing, showed up yesterday than the fake news thought possible. The political pundits just don't get what is going on out there, or they do get it but refuse to report the facts. Remember, Dems are high tax, high crime, easy to beat. So President Trump agrees with you, everything that you just said.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, we have to be vigilant as Republicans. We have double the number of retirements than Democrats in Congress, and so we have double the number of seats to defend, and so we can't rest on our laurels. But we have significantly higher number of pickups on the Senate side as well. And when you have Democrats in these high-tax states like California pushing more taxes, more regulation, government single-payer health care as their agenda, Americans are really alarmed about that. And so, you know, we're very happy to see the turnout. And you know, even at the top of the ticket, like you said, in California, we have a contested race there, but there are contested races in some of the other states that had primaries this week, where Republicans may pick up the seat. And, you know, newer faces. One more factor is that Republicans in Congress do have sort of a term up and out rule where they allow room for younger people to be leaders, and so that actually fosters more retirements.
Make a difference too.
And the Democrats have a very older kind of leadership, and so, you know, we have a different face and a positive face, and we're looking forward to November.
We'll see what happens. Harmeet, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insight.